Welcome to Conversations with the George Michael Singers podcast, where we talk about all things George Michael, being on tour with him, recording with him, and all the laughs we've shared with him over the years. And there's also a few tears. Have a listen and let us know what you think. Hello, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to another Conversations with the George Michael Singers. It's been a while. It's been a week. I'm going to be talking to the lovely Jay Van Winkle. Jay. Sorry. The reason
we'll have to go through, guys.
No. I don't know whether you heard it, but last week we put out like what they called outtakes. That's the word. We put some outtakes out, and me and Shirley were talking, and then we started giggling, and then we were talking about sleep, and then I went, "Oh, Jay loves his sleep," and I said, "I'm going to start calling him Rip Van Winkle," and then we started laughing, and then I was trying to incorporate your name around Rip Van Winkle, so you're now known as Jay Van Winkle because you like your sleep.
Guys, please don't listen to this. This is so not true.
Why do you
like to,
why do you like your sleep so much? Let's start with that question.
Right, it ain't that. Look. I like to just chill, just really kind of just lay back and just meditate. It's not so much of a sleeping thing.
Are you meditating then?
It's just like a perfect example. Every show that we do, what I love to do, just before a show, maybe if I get 15 minutes, I can center myself, really chill out. Because what's important for me, I want to give you my very best. See, I like these guys. I like to chill, and I like savouring myself to give you guys the very best. So that's my excuse.
And
you've heard it from me, so don't worry about this.
And he does, doesn't he? Come on, what a talent is this man? What a voice! It's like
she's like trying to make up for it now.
No, what for calling you Rip Van Winkle? Jay Van Winkle. I'm still going to call you Jay Van Winkle, by the way.
Yeah, it's the fisherman's thing that goes into. Anyway, let's move on.
Okay. Yeah. So. This is the lovely Jay Henry. We love Jay. He's our little joker and our little
relaxing joker.
Meditator. Look, we've asked quite a few people within the band, and what's your backstory? Where did you grow up? Did you have musical parents or musical family?
Yeah, I had. Yeah, I had. In fact, it's
blow your own trumpet.
I've got quite a big family. Got 7 brothers, and when we were younger, my parents would
no girls.
Kind of no girls, but we would just come together like the Jackson 5s and just sing harmonies just for fun. All right. So anyway, we'd done that just for a period of time. 3 of my older brothers, they were doing solo bits, and they would do little kind of competitions in various places. Now, as I was growing up, even though I loved to sing, my major thing was actually playing football. And as a schoolboy, I actually played for Orient, and I had a trial with West Ham as well. So most of my schooling life, I would say up until 16, I thought I'd be a professional footballer.
Really?
Because that was my first love. Music was a thing that I loved.
Is that more like a hobby, do you think? What? Or that you just like the singing side of things, like that you did with your brothers?
Yeah,
Is it more like that?
That was purely and that was purely for harmonies and stuff like that, because we used to always sing in the house, and the Jacksons were around at that time, so it was like let's try and do those kind of harmonies and stuff like that. But because I was the youngest one at that point, all right, so as we got older,
that explains everything.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
I'm the youngest as well.
Right. So, but as I was getting older, I think it was at the age of 14. I was in a school band, and we used to do like these little gigs, here and there and stuff. And this is when I actually, because as a young guy, your voice doesn't really break until it's maybe, I don't know, at the age of 14 and a half.
Yeah.
So I used to sing in a falsetto in a head voice, which I was quite happy with. I thought that was my normal voice. But then it was almost like within a week or a day, my voice just broke, and I just couldn't sing at all. It was like I lost my range, I lost all the high ends, and I remember we went to a doctor, and he told me your voice is breaking, and so it's like it's gonna mature. And so I thought, well, what does that do for my singing? You know, but
Yeah.
obviously the doctor wasn't a singing coach. So anyway, what I did was, and I think I was doing this for a period of a whole year. For some reason, I would say 2 hours after school, I used to listen to Aretha Franklin, Earth, Wind and Fire, you know, Shalimar, all those guys with the kind of vocal range that I thought I had in my head voice. I used to listen to this and try to imitate and literally try and stretch my range in trying to get my voice back. All right, so I was actually being my own coach at the age of 14. I wasn't sure if I was doing any damage to my voice, to be honest, but I would do it for 2 hours, and I found that instead of listening to a lot of the music through speakers, I got more information from actually listening to it through a headphone.
Oh, wow.
And then I started kind of listening to music, and I was thinking, how comes, you know, how do they get that, you know, emotion? How do they get that feel? How do they get that groan? So I was actually getting a lot more out of it. So what I would do there is to be a section of each singer that I would listen to. I would listen to, you know, most of the stuff back then, I'm showing my age now, was purely vinyl. So I'd lift the needle up, just a section of the song at a time, put it back, I'd listen to it over and over again. Then, you know, I would try and emulate it, do the same thing again. I would do that for 2 hours every single day. But the weirdest thing is this,
Wow.
It wasn't because I wanted to be a singer, I just loved hearing voices and singing voices, their actual tones. I wasn't because I was playing football.
I was going to say, were
maybe
you
4 or
still
5 times
playing
a week.
football at this stage
Yeah.
as well?
But singing was just a hobby.
Right.
But it was something I'd done religiously. It wasn't a thing of where I thought, yeah, I want to be a singer one day. I just loved the voice. It was like almost like an innate thing, because like in our family, everyone would sing. But I say again, it wasn't because I wanted to be. I'd done it purely because I would listen to voices, especially like Motown and that, and feel, you know, and even blues, and think, how do I get that feeling? What's the story? What's the whole thing? And I actually got into the spirit of it, and I just felt every time I listened to a voice that I was really, you know, worked, you know, for me, I would think, oh my God, I'll put the headphones down and think, wow, I want to sound like that. There was a particular album, I think it was with Roberta Flack and Peebo Bryson. That album, I can't remember the name of it. I remember because I couldn't afford the record at that time, and there was a shop called in Soho. Oh, what's it called again? Where everyone used to go to.
I think I know the one you
I
mean.
can't remember the name, and it was.
I do know the one
Yeah,
you mean.
I can't remember.
I actually used to go there, and it was well, I'll have to.
Yeah,
I'm probably not.
Was
the
it
best.
Cruise?
No.
Well, anyway, I would go there.
Anyway.
And I would literally listen to, you know, normally you would get an album, you say, like, I just want to hear a few tracks, I'm you know, I just want to hear it and buy it. Couldn't afford it at the time, so what I did, I actually listened to the whole album, and I was like, wow, you know, because they would let you listen to it. So anyway, I was like, kind of, and then I would kind of say, nah, I don't want to buy it, I'm not really, I couldn't afford it. But listening to that album and then getting back on a bus and going back, that just gave me so much. I was like, oh my God, it is just...
So music really does sort of feed your soul.
Oh yeah, it was more,
Did you come from a church background then? Did you?
Why
was everybody singing?
Well, it was just purely because there was always music in the house.
Oh, okay.
So like, you know, my dad would play music.
You didn't go to church? It wasn't
No, it was only,
okay.
I mean, we'd occasionally go to kind of like, you know, Sunday school thing or whatever.
Yeah.
We weren't
Wasn't
like...
a religious...
No,
Yeah.
it was purely just, you know...
So who had the music on? Was it your mum or your dad?
Everybody. I mean, my older brothers, everyone
right.
used to buy their own albums, would listen to stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, my older brothers used to listen to a lot of all the old school stuff, you know. And it was like, it was from that, hearing them sing. And I don't know if it was a thing of where subconsciously I was trying to emulate and be like them. But I found it was because they didn't even think I could sing. Because it wasn't a thing that I was doing really, really openly, because my older brothers were better singers than me then. Not now. Sorry.
Hopefully they're not watching this.
I know, just keeping it
or
real.
listening.
But yeah, and it was from that point of where I've kind of felt this is kind of a cool thing to actually do, but it was still just a hobby. And a lot of stuff that I used to do just to get into the business, I used to work with a lot of you know, up and coming bands and stuff, just do BVs. I used to do it, you know, purely for free. just to get some experience going.
So, how did you make the transition then from being not thinking that you were wanting to be a singer, wanting to be a footballer, and then where was the actual change in not doing football and then doing singing? When did that happen?
Do you know what it was? It was other people was telling me, and I say other people, not saying me, other people were saying how good I was. So I was like, all right. And then they used to, there was a production team. In fact, there was a few at that time, and they used to ask me, if I could sing on their records and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I worked with a band.
And how old would you have been then?
I was maybe 17.
Okay.
And I think I worked with, one of my first things I did was a band called Central Line. You know Sunshine? Sunshine, walking in the sunshine.
Yeah.
I actually done a BVs on that. That was my first big, kind of gig. And it was through that my name went around, and people saying, "Oh, have you heard about this Jay?" Whatever. And then I joined an agency called Session Connection. From there, they got me. I built up a little tape of what I'd done, with some production stuff. And there was a guy called, which in fact I really owe him a lot for this. Derek Green.
I know Derek.
Derek Green said to me,
I toured with Derek.
Give me your tape. I want to send it to Session Connections. I think you're really Send it to him. It must have been within 3 weeks. They got me to work with a band in America called, I think they were called Call Million, and they were doing like a 6 weeks tour in LA. That was like one of my first things. And from doing that, the same agency, they got me to do a tour with the Pet Shop Boys. From then, I got to work with George Michael. Do you know what I mean? And that, we're talking about going back, I don't know, it was like 80 something from the cover to cover.
Sorry, say that number again.
Anyway, yeah, then, but it really was. For me and my kind of climb was more like, it was more of like, when people speak about you and they say, like, have you heard about this? And I just, I followed all those leads, and that's what made me who I am and doing what I do now. But I must say, it wasn't a thing of where I felt that, you know what, this is a calling. I didn't have that kind of sense. I just thought, I really love this. And this is why I still think to this very day that if you're good at something, you would do it for free as a hobby. When you get paid for it, you're going to be just...
Well, it's like you never work a day in your life, do you?
No,
they say if you find a job that you love, you will never work a day in your life.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I think we are so blessed in that, because we love, we love this industry. So basically you got 7 brothers, is that what you said?
Brothers.
You're the youngest.
Oh, I'm the 7th son.
You're the 7th son, so you got 6 brothers.
How can I miss this out? Being the 7th son, it's really weird. After working with a few of the producers that I've been working with, I got to, what was it? I got offered, which is really strange because it's something that I wasn't into. I got offered to do, what's that? There's the West End show on the roller skates.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
I'm getting younger.
I really hate you trying to get me to remember stuff,
I'm
because
sorry.
my memory is so
Yeah.
bad. I know exactly the one you mean. Midnight Express.
Yeah. Anyway, I got offered to do that. Yeah. No.
What, Starlight?
Starlight.
Thanks, Paul. Paul's here. He's the only one that is not senior, obviously.
We're actors now. That was a movie,
You went yes as well,
No, it's been actors. But I would literally just go to these auditions, not because I wanted to do it, but just as a thing, just to build my confidence in auditioning. So I would do it, I would get it, and they would say, we want to use you. And I said, no, because I wasn't into musical theatre. I'd done 2 auditions.
Do you have any regrets about... Go on, what was the other audition?
Right, so there was Starlight
So you
Express.
got Starlight.
Yeah. And
Could you roller skate?
No, they were going to teach me.
Oh,
they were going to
I would have loved to have seen that.
God. I think I'd still be learning now.
I would have loved to see Jay on roller skates.
But look, the moral of the story
What was the other one?
It was...
Can you remember?
Oh, God, I can't. It was like a Lion King. No, it wasn't Lion King. It was God, what was it for again? I don't know if it was Miss Saigon. I can't remember which one, but I know It was in Shaftesbury Avenue.
Well, Sean Escoffrey does Lion King, doesn't he?
Yeah,
I wonder if it's Lion King.
Yeah, that was before then. It was. I really can't remember so. But
and you turned it down.
I got it, and I just turned it. I just wasn't.
Do you have regrets?
No, not really, because it was
good.
purely for me. I think, the whole idea of getting into the industry, I just wanted to get experience. So I would do, auditions just to work on it in the event of when
auditions
most
to get the
yeah,
job.
I know. I'm an enigma though. It's amazing. It's
Jay, you are actually. The more I get to know you, the more complex you actually.
Well, what it is, I can only do what I love. You can't pay me enough.
You're definitely authentic.
Do you know what I mean? I didn't want to do anything musical. It just wasn't my thing. So I was like, thanks politely, but no thanks. Do you know? But it really kind of it kind of taught me, the fact of, especially being a younger guy, it's being on time. These guys, if they say you've got an audition at 2, you need to be there maybe 1:30 and stuff, because they're there and they're ready, and waiting. But one of the weirdest things about, and I think it happens quite a lot in musical theatre, is that whenever you're doing an audition, and I remember we was in, I think it was Shaftesbury Avenue, I can't remember the venues, but I was on stage, and the actual producers, they were almost halfway in the
middle of the theatre,
right the way down, and I'm thinking, it's me just standing there, I told them who I was, and da-da-da-da-da-da, and they said, what song am I going to sing, da-da-da-da. So, and I thought, in my head, as they were asking, I thought, where's the mic? Where's the mic? There was no mic. I had to project my voice. It was all about that. So to do those kind of things, you have to be able to have a strong voice. And that was like a learning stage for me, where I thought, wow, thank God that I had the power, and I was singing with my brothers. And I think the reason why I was so loud is I think when you've got 7 brothers, you're always trying to, do you know what I mean?
Compete.
Be louder. Yeah. But that
especially
really,
when you're the youngest.
Yeah, but that really worked in my, my favour. And I think, so from doing that, I
actually want to do musical theatre.
Well, I did, I don't know if you know this one as well, it's all coming to me. I've done a thing called Black Heroes in the Hall of Fame.
What's that?
That was a theatre production that they had in, I think it was in Hackney for 2 years.
Did you?
Black Heroes in the Hall of Fame. I played Marvin Gaye. Yeah, but that was more soulful, because I played Marvin Gaye and Luther Vandross, and I played Pele on stage, because it was all about black history. So I'd have to go on stage and juggle a ball and do all that kind of stuff, and that was like quite an experience. Yeah. But I've done that because my brother was in it as well, and he said you should come and do it. So I thought, okay then. But that was the only.
That's a really good experience.
Thing. Yeah. But that was I think I was.
Was that a production that was on every night? One of those.
Yeah, it was every night, and a matinee.
See, that's the only thing they'll be like, my God, you have like one day off a week.
I tell you, there was one day where I'd done.
That's hard.
I was doing a matinee, and I think we'd done a show on Friday, and after Fridays it was just that thing where you just have a drink or 2, or 3 or 4. So anyway, the next day I was still kind of a little bit hung, and I just remembered that I've got to do a Pele scene where I've got to come on stage and juggle a ball. Literally header it, bring it down, and like in my head I was still kind of drunk. I got on stage, I was still moving, so I remembered, and it was really embarrassing. I got the ball and I was juggling it. Then the ball went away from me. It went to the side of the stage, and all you heard was clang, clang, clang. And I just picked the ball up and said, "All right, guys, that's enough now. That was Pele. See you when the fog clears." I was like, "Oh my God!" No, honestly, that was one of the most embarrassing moments of life for me.
I've got an embarrassing moment. It's just I'm just you saying all these things. I'm thinking about when you and Shirley interview me. I can remember some of the clangers that happened to me on stage as well. Anyway, go on. Sorry.
Yeah. So right. I'm kind of, my timeline is a little bit all over the place, but you have to try and work that out.
Wow, Jay, you've had like such an amazing career, really. If you think
very interesting.
I mean, we've only just hit only a little bit of it, because you're still.
Yeah, there's
you're still vocal coaching now.
Oh, of course, yeah.
You're still doing that, because that's your main thing. We're actually in Jay's lovely studio at the moment, where he actually does his work. He doesn't even have to leave his house, which is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Talking of phenomenal,
What a shame.
which was the word of the tour, which seems like how long ago now?
Oh no, it's amazing.
It's, I mean, like what we are now, so it's summer, we're in July, first week of July, and the tour was, that was the end of March. Just looking at Paul to see if I'm right. End of March, so it's like a couple of months ago, 2 or 3 months ago, and like, are you missing it?
Of course. I mean, it's amazing when you.
What was your favourite bit of it? I mean, like.
I mean, surprisingly enough, I actually, which I didn't think I would. I actually enjoyed the travelling. It was actually good, to actually hang with you guys and just have a laugh. It was really. I mean, of course, I enjoyed the show, but it's amazing that I find that being on tour for me. I think in life in general, sometimes it's very hard to stay in the moment. You're always thinking of something like the future is about. When you're on tour, you are in that moment.
You really
you're in the van, then you're doing a sound check, then you're getting ready to. You're in the moment all the time, and I tell you, that was actually really relaxing, and I really loved that because you didn't have any other time to think about anything else. So the whole of the tour thing. I now understand why when people come off of tour, you can be on a little bit of a lull because it's almost like you've now got space to think about stuff that you can't really do anything about, if you like, but you're just not in the moment. And I think in life in general, it's so important in staying in the moment because you don't get these times back.
No, and we did make the most of it, didn't we?
Oh, we really did.
We really did. We had such a laugh. I've never toured with Jay. I mean, I've done a lot of work with Jay over the years, with obviously with George. We haven't done anything else together, have we?
No, with MTV we don't know that.
MTV Unplugged, but we and
no,
a couple of other bits and pieces.
Yeah.
But so we haven't really worked much together. So it's been really nice to just hang out with this cheeky little monkey, and he's funny. He's so funny.
Should have been a comedian.
You should have done.
Or maybe not.
You can be. Like, you've still got life left in you, boy.
I've got a little bit of time.
You better work on your little comedy sketches. Whilst
right.
we're on the road next. Are we going to be on the road next? Who knows? What was your favourite bit of it was travelling and hanging out as like within the musical family, because what an amazing musical family we have.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, like I said, it's the travel, it's the show, and even our after meals, our late meals. Actually, our meals would start maybe 11:30 at night. Yeah. But we'd have our grilled chicken and all this stuff.
Chicken in the oven.
Wine or this. I mean, it was, I don't know, it was every bit. It's such a cool environment to be in. It really was just so much fun doing it.
And what was your favourite song to sing on stage, on the show, on the tour? What was your favourite moment on?
I like just really weird. I mean, I think I've got 3 songs that I really liked singing. I like, maybe in this order, Praying for Time, Everything She Wants, and Careless Whisper. They were really my favourite songs to actually sing. And
everybody wants to know this, but Jay, are you going to take your top off on the next tour if we tour again?
I think you're going to have to come and see. You're going to have to be there. You see, if I tell you, then you'll just be there. Come and see it.
Come and see us again.
That's right.
Thank you for listening to Conversations with the George Michael Sings. Is there anything else you would like to add? I mean, what was the other question? That I've missed.
I think my thing. Look,
what does the tour? You might need to edit those little bits out. Should we start it and start again?
I've got 15 minutes. All right.
Okay.
You usually ask what the whole process.
Okay. Right. So, sorry, you have to edit those couple of bits out. Sorry, Paul. What was actually doing the tour? What did it mean to you? Because I've asked everybody that, and I think it's quite an important question, because it's not, I think there's a lot of people out there that think that we're just doing it for the money, or there's always a lot of haters out there. And of course we've got to earn money, because it takes a lot of work and a lot of dedication, a lot of time to put everything together for you guys.
Plus you've got bills to pay, haven't you?
But we got bills to pay. But put that aside, you know, what has it actually meant to you, and does it mean to you, and what will it mean to you?
What's that, in doing the tour or working with John?
Doing the tour, just doing this whole process, us all working together, the band, the music, everything. What does it? What's it brought you?
I think it's you know, I think after working with George for so many years, it's just, you know, to everything that he's done for us, what he's done for me, just in having the honour of working with such an iconic singer. It was nice to be able to put something back and to just really tell our own stories about how we felt, you know, about him. Having the opportunity to do that and sing his songs and carry on his legacy, for me, is absolutely everything. And that's what kind of drives me to this very day. This is why I want to do more, because I feel that as long as we do that, George is always going to be alive.
Oh,
honestly.
That's so lovely. Thanks, Jay. I might have to talk to you again, because there's more questions I have for you, and I think there's more questions that the fans have for you, because we've answered, myself and Shirley did a whole Q&A, and I think might be quite a nice idea if you answer some of the questions that we answer.
Of course.
So we'll do it again.
Of course.
But anyway, thank you everybody for listening to Conversations with the George Michael Singers. Keep listening, keep watching, and subscribe, and there's more to come.
Right.
And we're
I'm going to go to sleep now.
Oh yes. No, you're meditating, aren't you?
Oh yes, sorry. This is why I did this.
Bye, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Hope you enjoyed that episode of Conversations with the George Michael Singers. We really hope you learned a little bit more about George Michael. Keep listening, keep following us. There's lots more to come.